attention has been coming out of the Northwest. I don't know if you've paid attention, but the Northwest Education Department is set to fork out over 100 million rands on matric exam papers. Until recently, they were allocated less than 30 million for the printing of matric exam papers. So one has to wonder what's happened here. Part of the answer has to be the changes, right? With a new 5-year agreement being settled by the department with Libone Ultra and DSV Consortium, official representatives have disputed the exact amount, only agreeing that it exceeds over 100 million. So there's also a lack of transparency. That's the sense that I get when we speak about this particular issue. I'm joined now on the line by Northwest Education Department spokesperson Mphata Molokwane. Mphata, good morning. Welcome to Radio 702 and thank you for your time.
Good morning to you too, Tshidi, and good morning to the listeners as well.
Let's start with this new 5-year agreement. How did it come about and how did Libone Ultra and DSV Consortium get picked to partner with the Department of Education?
Firstly, let me highlight that for us as the Department of Education to reach the 100 million, the 100 million was calculated by using a page cost, which is R126, but that R126 goes with 80 million copies, so it amounts close to 100 million. Those are estimated costs, not the actual cost that at the end of the year we're gonna spend 100 million as the Department of Education. But looking at the population again from other years, the publications stated that we are spending 27 million, now we're spending 100 million. Now the population in the province also increased when we are looking at it. Then on the other one, the Libone Consortium did qualify and participated in this tender as other companies also participated. And the tender was advertised last year around May 2024. So we do have the actual breakdown on how do we participate in this 100 million as the Department of Education. So I'll quickly go through what as the department we are going to be doing. Firstly, we do have human resource that will be provided by the consortium, and also they will be transporting our question papers to various schools across the province. And also the consortium will also make sure that the question papers, when they are distributed, they are safe. For the one of 27 million, I would also like to highlight that we are doing this thing with the government printing works, whereby they were only printing and they were not delivering the question papers to the schools.
Oh, so the difference here is that you now have transport included.
We do have transport included, and also there are some security features that are...
And safety is a factor. But even if you then include the issue of population size being increased, I don't believe Northwest population size has increased to a point where that jump makes sense. I think that's where people are struggling, where it goes from 27 million to an estimate even of 100 million. Even if you factor in transport and safety, there are even people from the department itself who've questioned this.
Look, as the Department of Education in the province, we have looked at other matters, like I've indicated that we have also added the security features to our question papers. So it don't be that case of we have papers that are leaking across the province. And this service does not only amount to grade 12 learners, it also includes the grade 9 learners, hence the amount has went up. But for the 27 million, it was only catering for printing only for matric examinations. But right now we are also including general education certificates for grade 9 learners.
With the Northwest Education Department spokesperson, Mphata Molokwane, we're discussing this costing, right, where there's an estimate of 100 million, over 100 million rand for matric exam papers in the Northwest. This is a jump from it usually costing less than 30 million rand. And we're trying to understand, how did this come about? Mphata Molokwane, thank you so much for staying on the line with us. Welcome back. So you were saying human resources taken into consideration, transport, safety, and these are things that were not necessarily provided by the government printing works. When you mention the issue of safety, help me understand, because traditionally, I don't think Northwest had a grave problem. So maybe you can help us understand what you were dealing with that you're trying to reduce as when you went on this particular journey of trying to find this new partnership and of safety being improved. Because often when I look at Umalusi and I look at reports around leaks, it's usually Mpumalanga, you've heard Limpopo, sometimes Gauteng, once in a while KZN. It's very rare that I hear of the issue in the Northwest. So in my head, I've always understood it to be under control, well maintained, that there'd be no need for additional measures, at least over 100 million rand estimates worth of additional measures.
You know, Siri, this 100 million is not just a contract, but we're looking at a level whereby we are saying it's an investment, because we want to give our learners also a credible examination feeling. So through this 100 million, like I've already alluded that the papers will be secured, and we must also bear in mind that the costing can be the same as like in 2019 or 2020, because of we are also being hit by inflation in our country, whereby the pricing will normally change along the way.
But it won't be close to 100 million.
Like I've indicated, the page is costing 1 rand 26. So when you multiply that 1 rand 26 for 80 million copies, it will absolutely give you roughly around 100 million. Like I said, it's not like we're going to spend the 100 million, but it's an estimated amount that we might reach 100 million.
Okay. And in terms of performance, in terms of the agreement that you've got with the consortium that you've agreed with, what are the clauses, what are the expectations over the past 5 years to make sure that this, that you're labeling an investment, is thoroughly seen to be that, and it's not yet another wasted exercise?
One of the terms that we have with the consortium is that we must not experience any paper leakage through the contract that we'll be having, because they'll be the ones that are carrying the responsibility if there are any irregularities that are occurring during the examination period.
Okay, and then in terms of explaining to the public, because that issue of the money won't go away. People are worried about actual infrastructure. That money like this should have been better spent on fixing infrastructure. We've seen the state of schools in your province. A lot of question marks about improving, even teaching resources are question marks. Some people say, why not continue with government printing printing resources and at least focus on other issues that need your attention, that are also just as critical, making sure that you meet those norms and standards of what a classroom should look like?
You know, sometimes it's better for us as government officials to also teach our people that the budget is segmented into different positions, whereby there will be money for infrastructure, and the other money will be based on examinations and curriculum, and the other one for teacher and learner development. So there's always money along all these units, whereby there should be spending, but not irregular spending.
Yet I don't think that answer, that last one where you say there's allocations, is sufficient for people, because people look at the schooling, we look at infrastructure, and even if there's money allocated, one would make an argument that then allocate more money there as opposed to this. That also be an argument that you will have to answer for. But where we stand right now, I'm gonna let you go soon. You feel that everything is above board, that when oversight mechanisms come into play, you will not be found wanting as a department in how you've handled this particular process and this contract.
Yes, there are no any irregularities that were experienced during appointing of this contractor. So we are definitely sure that everything went well.
All right, thank you so much for that. I'm going to let you go. That's Mphata Molokwane, who's a spokesperson for the Northwest Department of Education. He's trying to explain that massive jump from under 30 million, the cost, right, to print matric papers, to over an estimate of over 100 million, and is insisting that it's above board, that the calculations say that it'll cost this much per learner, and that's what the fee is. It might not be that, there's no clarity, but he also then says one of the reasons why this is happening, the difference with the government printing works, is that here you now have more human resources, you'll have transport, the papers will be transported, that it'll be safer. But again, I don't think the Northwest was notorious for leaks, that they would need such dire, desperate measures. And the only thing that I'm seeing here that they're looking to with this company is the issue of leaks, to say that you've fallen short. A lot of other things can go wrong, and it might not be the leaks, and that contract will stand. And I think that should be some cause for concern. What says you? 011-883-0702, 072-702-1702.
Hanging out with Clement
on 702.
Let's walk the talk.